Demon Slayer, Kimetsu, no Yaiba, Mugen Train review. This right here is how I got to grab Vicky's ass. Now let's go into one of the best films in cinematic history. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Mugen Train. Now, one big thing I want to give a shout out to, I want to give a big shout out to the mainstream media for literally helping me out. So, if you want to run down how he and me and how Tanjiro and me are related, is if you go to my Facebook and you look at a picture of me with curly hair wearing a checkerboard shirt, is literally in 2009, and 2019 is when Demon Slayer was released, and that is literally a reference to me my freshman year. So this is a really big shout out. I've been putting a whole lot of work into anime. I go to conventions, I make AMVs for rappers, I do a lot of work with anime. So this is a heavy big shout out for how hard I've been working, and it is one of the greatest films I have ever seen. Definitely one of the greatest films of all time, and it is a masterpiece. So this is the review of young Tanjiro's ride on the Mugen Train. I love this movie. So before I get into the review, let me state this. This breaks my record on watching anime movies in a movie theater. So I'll put it like this. Dragon Ball Z Super Broly, I watched 3 times. Code Geass, Lelouch the Resurrection, I watched 2 times. One with a friend. And My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, I watched 4 times. And Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, I watched 5 times. I have broken my record with watching anime movies in a theater with this masterpiece. Now let me get into the plot, the summary, what really made this movie impactful. I swear, I love Demon Slayer. I literally thought it was up there. I know that Dr. Stone literally got the award for Crunchyroll for Best Anime 19, but I felt like Demon Slayer honestly took that, and here is the real reason why I felt like this is one of the best movies of all time. So if you don't know what the cinematic, why it was so graphic, and why it's so on point, even though it's an anime movie, why it looks so mainstream, how come there is little to no disagreements with the artwork? It's because that was the intention of the movie. Do you feel a little bit of The Lion King? Do you feel a little bit of The Matrix? Do you feel any of that? That is a reference to MT. It's empty throughout that entire movie. That is the theme of that movie. It's to make sure it's crispy. It's referencing the best media, best aspects of the media of one of the best, literally, one of the best movies of all time, and they put it onto one masterpiece, just like I did with Nons. So they did that. They took real life elements from different, literally, outstanding foundations like The Lion King, and they made it frame by frame in order to make this movie pop. I'm telling you. Everything is referencing Space Jam, is referencing a whole lot. If you literally, imagine other fucking shit, that was intense. So yes, if you're thinking about like The Nightmare Before Christmas and Emma, yes, that is intense. So if you're thinking about all that, it's visually made to make you not question if it's an anime or not. So that's the whole meaning of Mugen Train. So this is a very gangster movie. If you actually think about it as landscape, this is a really thuggish movie. It's not just an anime movie. This is an anime that's political. It teaches you a lot about life. It literally shows you a different side of society. It shows you how different people work, different times out, how different families work, and literally freaking how people are devoted to their goals, and how tunnel vision can literally be a bad thing, which is why it's called Mugen Train. That is the meaning of this film. So let me get into like how it starts off and how people are oblivious about what it was really going down during that movie. So let me put it like this. So it starts off as the elder god literally walking through the graveyard with this lady that really resembles a whole lot about my Chilai exception. I love Chilai in the Dragon Ball Z Super Broly. That was going through my head when I was watching the very first thing. I'm like, okay, there's a Nejin, there's kind of like a Chilai figure, even though she's old, she gives off the feel of the Amber Rose thing. So I'm obsessed with hip hop. So literally, when you see them walking side by side, you literally think that this shit isn't even Demon Slayer. I thought it was shit was straight up Dragon Ball Z, how beautiful it was. In the very beginning with the opening speech of the Grandmaster is literally why this is one of the greatest films of all time. Because look how visually appealing this is. Look how they already established that this is referencing the Lion King within the first 10 seconds of the movie. Undeniably, nothing, no fucking flaw. Just walking through a graveyard as a Grandmaster. The universal concepts in this movie is absolutely fucking insane. So I'm telling you, that Mugen Train is literally one of the best films I have ever seen, and it's because of this. So it goes into we will fight hard until the very end, and Rengoku, the star of this movie, proves that exponentially. So let's get into what this is about. So basically, it's about two demons that are ordered by the elder god Muzan, the antagonist in the show called Muzan. Literally hired a whole bunch of demons. And he hired one specifically named Enma. I love Enma. And Enma's job was to take over the entire train and literally kill the demon slayer named Tanjiro Komodo. And literally everyone else. So they brought a Hashira along just in case. And a Hashira is basically like a team captain, like a Kakashi, a Guy, a Yamato. A Hashira is a sensei that is within the demon slayer corps. So what happens is this. So Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro are on this chain, and they just happen to bump into the guy that is a Hashira, and his name is Rengoku. So the Goku had literally some of the best lines in this movie. I love his character, and at first I really hated him, but there's a secret behind Rengoku. So Rengoku's character is all, you don't think this has anything to do with racism, but his character is based off of a white guy with tunnel vision. You don't think that? Okay, let me elaborate a little bit more. So I'll put it like this. If you're grown and you like literally go out a lot, you can tell there's a lot of social dynamics that are in this movie. This isn't just for cinematic purposes. This is a real life lesson for people, you know, who've banged, who have kids, who literally know the complexity about life and kids are oblivious to it. There's an Easter egg in there. So Rengoku starts off acting retarded, literally, but he is good at what he does. And so this is a big reference to what has been going on. They reference COVID-19 a lot in this movie. Do not think that there's not one reference to COVID-19 in Demon Slayer. There is literally so many references. So I'm gonna put it like this. So we see Rengoku and he's acting retarded and he's literally saying the same thing over and over and over again. And Tanjiro literally is just amazed at that guy's drip. He's just amazed at what the fuck is going on. Literally, I really get to meet a Hashira. And so it really was fucking crazy how I got to see Tanjiro in action interacting with Rengoku. I thought it was a very good aspect of the movie. I feel like their characters, how they bounce off of each other, were really, really dynamic. How, like, Tanjiro is full of himself, but he's still a newbie. But literally, Rengoku doesn't even know what sure of himself means, but literally, and he's just doing, like, literally what has to be done, and literally is so strict on his morals, but really doesn't have a personality Tanjiro does, but he's not as nearly as powerful. You see how those two, like, just bounce off? I thought that was amazing. I thought that was a good aspect of the movie. So I want to let you guys know that that is really good. So there's a lot of good elements to this movie. I noticed that they reference Full Metal Alchemist a lot throughout this movie. If you don't think they reference Full Metal Alchemist, that scene with the time of brother, bro, yeah, one of my favorites. That's a reference to Full Metal Alchemist. Just let you know that goofiness, yeah, keeping it hardcore and explicit, that is all reference from Full Metal Alchemist. So I'm gonna let you know that. So right off the bat, we get into the villain of this movie after we see Rengoku slay a demon, and we get into Enma. My favorite aspect of the fucking movie is Enma. So Enma literally has this plan to literally up the ranks in Muzan's territory, to literally become one of the top class demons, even though he/she is a lower rank. Now, I had a girl who cosplayed as Emma one time. So anyway, fuck it, that's another thing in the movie. Like, they tell you how to be street smart in this movie, and that's really a really, really dope thing. So literally, Enma is literally so fucking nasty. Character design so hardcore. I had so many girls, like, literally, that watched it. That was in my high school. It was like, hey, you know Eric's got his own movie out there. So literally, they watched it. They're like, what? This is one of the greatest films of all time because of the way Emma looks visually. What you see is what you get in this movie. Yes, it's made to compete with all the past great media in the past. What made media great in the past is everything that is clumped into this movie. This is why Emma is so visually appealing, is so visually incredible. And the reason why you look at him in that aspect is because literally it's like I feel like I'm watching A Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, yes, yes. That is meant to be intentional. So if you see anime hit you at a mainstream aspect, that means that is a shout out and that is a reference to why I love The Lion King, and that's one of my favorite films. It's another fucking reference. Okay, we're gonna get on. We're gonna get on and on and on. So literally, so what happens is Emma is literally the hardest when it comes to this movie because what he does is he has this complexity that I am going to become one of the greatest demons of all time. Like literally, even though they hung him for the gallows, it really meant that because I loved Emma's delivery. I loved everything that had to do. I don't care about like the movie and how it panned out, but Emma really, really, really struck out to me. So what Emma does is literally he gets some foreigners that are on the train and he literally convinces them to kill Tanjiro. So these are sleep hunters. Just like demon hunters, they are sleep hunters. And so first thing he does is he puts everybody to sleep. And Lily, and that happens through the ticket, and that happens through multiple abilities of Emma. I loved Emma because of how like multi-dimensional that villain was, like what he stood for. It's very fucking sad. His character is a sad person that's addicted to what he does, and he's really, really cannibalistic in how he delivers his idea. He feels like he's graceful, but he's really a monster, and that is literally the best shit about his character. He has so much potential, and I felt like when he was elaborating his plan, how full of himself, literally fucking talking to himself, doing the train, referencing Michael Jackson, literally so much fucking shit I loved about Emma, having to do with the fact that this is a problem that so many people have today. Emma had tunnel vision like no other in this movie. So fucking starved on what he wants to do is not even fucking funny. So simultaneously, while the sleep hunters are invading Rengoku's dream, while they're invading Tanjiro's dream, while they're invading Inosuke, while they're invading every single other person's dream, is because of this. Literally, they're ordered by Emma to literally kill these guys. So simultaneously, while this girl, so I'm gonna name off the Demon Hunters right now. There was this girl who was my favorite fucking part of the movie. I know this shit got active as soon as I saw this girl open a fucking portal and all you see is flames like Saddam Hussein. And I was like, what the fuck? Literally. And then Rengoku comes out of nowhere. See, literally, she sees the core of Rengoku's dream and she's trying to shatter it in order to destroy his conscience. And Rengoku, literally, in his sleep, gets up and grabs this bitch's throat. This nigga choked this bitch in his sleep. Rengoku is a motherfucking G. Now, the first time I watched it, I'm like, Rengoku's a fucking square. He has nothing going for him. I fucking hate him. But then I forget, after a couple of times of watching, I realized this nigga actually choked this bitch in his sleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Rengoku is a fucking savage. And literally, because he portrays himself like a white guy, like, literally, is like just us in society. A lot of people who I have fun with are white people that think like Rengoku, but they're not as admirable as Rengoku. I've had this problem with Emma and Rengoku. These are two literally television characters that literally are so strived to what they do that they forget about the reality around them. They forget about literally what their potential holds. Like, these are two powerful people that lost their potential in the movie. As I go a little bit down on, you'll see why I think that. So the Saddam Hussein bitch gets choked by fucking Rengoku, and literally that shit was so crazy. So Tanjiro comes back, and his family has a big ass flashback, and then literally we get into the point of literally his family got destroyed. We go to his backstory, but we also go into an imagination state of him to back when his family was still alive, to literally, because he was already adapted to them being dead. So what he did was he literally went back in time and literally, what if my family survived? And then he realized why he became a demon slayer. And it really was crazy. So every single time people are going in and out of dreams, it symbolizes like what they have in their soul. So simultaneously, while they're all getting trapped in a dream, Emma turns their entire train into a gigantic pussy. I swear, he turns the entire fucking train into one gigantic pussy. And I felt like that was the most savage shit of all time. And I felt like this literally was the craziest shit I have ever fucking seen. And speaking of pussy, by the way, Nezuko pops out the box and literally comes through and headbutts Tanjiro on the head. And I love this scene so fucking much. That is so dope. It's not even fucking funny. And I thought that shit was hella fucking cold. I feel like Nezuko really is the MVP of this movie. People say Rengoku was the MVP. No. Nezuko's the MVP because he was still unconscious while he was choking her. And that's a reference to Amando, the tyrant, by the way. So yeah, that unconscious swordplay is literally why this is one of the best movies of all time. And literally why it literally was so fucking out of pocket. How this shit went so fucking in depth into different people in society. Literally different fucking ways people act, different ways people operate. And so literally, so Nezuko wakes up Tanjiro, and so together him and Inosuke wake up the whole bus. So when he goes up and he faces Emma, Emma realizes what tunnel vision is after she/he faces Tanjiro. So literally, this is one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I feel like it really went hard. So I compare this movie a lot to one of the best song fights. So it definitely was better than My Hero Academia in terms of action, in terms of consistency. But at the same time, it had a lot of dialogue, and I did not like the dialogue too much, but I loved it to the point where it wasn't distracting from the action. It wasn't taking away too much of the action. Perfect dialogue, perfect everything. I feel like that was a 10 out of 10. So basically, Emma tries everything in her power to literally take Tanjiro down. It's a whole lot like Naruto and Sasuke. Like, this is one of the greatest fucking anime fights I've ever seen. Best visuals, fucking best techniques is literally fucking crazy. Like, that is one of the shit that I have ever fucking seen. So literally, fucking... So, like, Tanjiro actually is able to cut Emma's head off, but because he's a demon, he can regenerate. So what happens is this. So, literally, Emma has his head chopped off, and he's looking at Tanjiro, and he's like, I'm still on the bus. So, literally, fucking, him and Inosuke literally go ham, and Rengoku and Nezuko and Zenitsu fight all the demons on the bus after they wake up, and literally, so now they're going up to go fight Emma, and so Inosuke and Tanjiro really went ham on Emma. So Inosuke is really referencing a whole lot of Full Metal Alchemist here. He's referencing a whole lot of how Lily Arturo used to act. It's fucking crazy. You do not have to do that last part. I'm sorry, every fucking thing is so fucking hard. What am I saying? Yes, all that shit was packed into that movie. It was so much a fucking masterpiece. And literally everything. So I watched the English dub, by the way, and literally I watched it English dubbed 5 times. I don't watch anime movies unless they're dubbed. I'm sorry, that's just my personal taste. But literally, I do that because I'm an American who watches anime. I am not Japanese that watches anime. I'm sorry. So literally, I'm doing that for a good reason because you won't understand the shit that I'm talking about unless you watch the English version. I'm only the English for me. Well, anyway, the English version is typed by way. Nothing wrong with the dub at all. So like, literally, I'll put it like this. So it happens like this. So after like Emma Lily gets defeated by Lily, Inosuke and Tanjiro gets stabbed by the bus driver, and so Lily so Tanjiro was on the floor and he gets stabbed before he beats Emma, but Emma Lily has this emotional speech that fades away. So this is a reference to a lot of high standards that people have today, a lot of unrealistic standards. So Emma's Lily has the corniest shit that I've ever fucking heard. Fucking Naruto Uzumaki had way better speeches at the end, but for somebody, you know, like Isaiah's old girlfriend, fucking Beyonce, saw this in theaters, and she thought that was one of the best speeches of all time. And I'm all like, that's basic for fucking anime, but delivering it in the form of how to put anime on, to put anime in a mainstream media aspect, it is fucking perfect. The Nightmare. Literally, and it's so fucking incredible, the fact that, literally, what they did was, they did something simple, something that literally is low tier where it comes to actual writing, but they delivered it in the form of, yo, if this is your first time watching something, you're not gonna complain. It's because you have high standards. It's because you block your ears. It's because you block your mind from opportunities is why I don't get it. They literally put everything in plain sight. If you're a chronic breaker, if you literally are opinionated, this movie will wake you up, and I love this movie. That's the whole point of opinionated tunnel vision people is the enemy of this movie. Like, if you have tunnel vision, if you are not rational, if you don't think about other people behind, if you don't think the benefits of moving on, about literally your environment around you, you will not literally get the value of this movie. So after Emma gets killed, fucking another demon comes out of nowhere and tries to attack the Hashira, and so that guy name is Akiza. Now Akiza is literally one of the craziest drips I've seen in anime. The biggest dripped out demon I've seen in anime is Akiza. Akiza literally was fucking crazy. So there's a whole lot of references in this movie. Like literally, that Arabian music that is playing is literally a reference to like how I come from Indian culture, like how my city is dominantly Indian, but how like we don't play around, you know, stuff like that. And I fucking love this. It's all about Indians I know personally that do rap, a whole lot of other shit. Yeah, like there's a hookah lounge right down the street from like an old place I used to shop at. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is fucking nasty. So literally, so that Arabian music, that fucking bumping music is playing, and we are sitting literally through our fucking seats watching Akiza go at it with Rengoku. Now, the thing I loved about Akiza versus Rengoku is that Rengoku stayed true to his path the entire fucking time. So basically, there's a theme after the movie. It's not literally about if you die, it's literally how you go out. He went out with his belief. Even though he made a selfish decision, he still stayed true to his word. So I'm going to put it like this. There's a big meaning, so I'm going to cut this short. But Akiza is literally one of the best parts about the movie. My personal opinion, I like Emma better, but I think Akiza's more OP. So the problem is that Rengoku kept on cutting him up, but he had a better regenerative ability other than Emma's. Emma can regenerate too, but he is not as crafty as Akiza, because Akiza is based on a solid base. He cannot mutate like Emma, but he can stay solid, so when you cut him, he can regenerate instantly. So he kept on trying to come, he kept on regenerating, and he was regenerating at full strength every time. I've never seen such a difference in power in a movie before. Literally, so Rengoku is losing, he's almost out of breath, but Rengoku literally goes in. So here's what happens. So it gets down to a point where Rengoku doesn't care if he dies. So Akiza keeps on telling him, be rational, become a demon, and you will literally receive all the benefits of being a demon. And so Rengoku looks at him like this. He's like, what, you say I have to cut off my dick or something? So literally, fucking Rengoku literally goes at him like this. He's like, I'll never be scum like you. I don't care if I have human limitations. This is what makes life beautiful, up and down, and an ending. Literally, this is literally what makes a life valuable. And so literally, Rengoku literally kept on to his belief and said, fuck out of here, and he figured out a way to beat him. So what happened was this. So I'm gonna give you a hint. If you want things to literally go smoothly, I think Rengoku's gonna die either way, but here's what I noticed about the film. If you literally butt in at the last minute, what happened was he caught literally Akiza with his arm. After Akiza already shattered his eye, after this and that, Rengoku was still fucking strong enough to let him take the hit, and he was still strong enough to grab Akiza's arm. He's like, nigga, you are not fooling anyone. I am just as powerful as you. I still have a regenerative ability just like you. And this is literally why it was an unfair matchup, but Rengoku went all out, and he figured out a way. Even though Akiza was more overpowered, he failed to realize the will of a fighter that is none other than Rengoku. But here was the problem. So Rengoku was able to catch him off guard. It was about to be sunlight. So Tanjiro and Zenitsu stopped in. And I felt like he would have beat Akiza if it wasn't for the social signal from Tanjiro and Zenitsu. He gave him another target instead of being flabbergasted. If you don't know, that's a strategy when you fight. When you literally are focused on one thing, when something can remind you, it can trigger other electrical patterns in the brain, and you can literally figure out what to do now. But if it was just one-on-one, Rengoku would have got him. And that's one thing Tanjiro butted in when he should have had. He is the cause of why Akiza got away, to be honest with you. So literally, what happens is this. So Rengoku dies because he couldn't catch Akiza, because Akiza ripped off his arm, but then he regenerated. He ran away before he could catch the sunlight. So basically, Tanjiro, this is literally how I used to sound when I was in high school. I want pussy! I want pussy! I want pussy! Instead of I want pussy being irrational in the situation, this is what the fuck Tanjiro was. You didn't win against him! Like, nigga, he fucked all of you up. Face reality, that Admiral speech isn't doing anything, buddy. Sorry. Your fucking leader just died. You have to realize that. He didn't stand a chance the whole time. I don't care how admirable you think you fucking sound. I don't care how savage you did. Yes, it was an admirable feat. You're strong for a fucking reason, but you have to be strong up here. That is the true meaning between a hero and a wannabe hero. And so, literally, fucking, it's like, you didn't win. He accomplished his goal. He saved everybody on the train. He didn't save himself, and he could have lived on to be a strong Hashira. And he was one of the main point. His role was so important, but he destroyed it, and he gave it away. There's more to life than winning, and Rengoku did not get this concept, and Rengoku passed away with the demon running away. I don't think the train's enough. I think we should kill that nigga too. I'm sorry. That's just me. That is just me, man. But literally, fucking, and so Tanjiro literally had this emotional speech, and literally, this shit is so fucking funny. This is when Arturo pretends to be an adult, but he's not. When he tells you, pick yourself back up, Paris. Bitches ain't shit. And then Zenitsu's all like, you're crying too. Yes, that's a reference between me and Arturo. All that shit is so fucking funny. I'm fucking letting you know that shit is crazy. So the moral of this movie is when Goku, his character is written to be a crackwanker in COVID-19, but he's a savage and he's not written like that. He's admirable. But the difference between a cartoon and real life is that if Rengoku would have did that shit with real life, we would have been devastated. We would have thought about why did you have to go out? Why didn't you stop with your head? Why didn't you do this and that? That's the difference between our cartoon and real life. But in a movie, it's admirable. At first, it's not, but when you watch it a couple times, you understand that Rengoku actually stayed true to his belief, and he didn't fucking care about the outcome, and he got what he was. So that's fair because he kept himself consistent, and he was a savage. And even though it was an unfair thing what happened to Goku at the end, he stayed admirable throughout the entire thing, and that is commendable because he lived his life the way he wanted to, and then he not let other people tell him otherwise. But here's one thing you have to know. So at the end of the movie, he sees his mom come out of nowhere. He's like, did I do good, Mom? Do not be a crackbreaker like Rengoku in real life and accept you sacrifices other people's. You have to be a certain amount of selfish in this world in order to survive. And it's selfish in order to ensure survival. It's not selfish in order for you to literally be opinionated and be a fucking pig. No. If you have the heart of Rengoku, translate it into different knowledge and actually apply to, like, literally, I'm throwing my life away. I need more bang for my buck. Sorry, that is the truth. That is the truth. You cannot, like, literally accept construction job pay when you also deserve community college level payment. You cannot accept that. You can never accept that ever. So, like, literally, that is one thing that Rengoku got fucked up. And if you really were confident, you won't be asking for validation for your mom at the end of the movie. That is how I feel. That is the truth. That is the exact fucking truth of the situation in real life. But it's not, because Rengoku had a whole lot more. He had the whole demon corpse. He had everything beside his mom, aside him. So when he died, it wasn't like he wasted his life. No, he was a fine Hashira, and he was a flaming Hashira, and his mom's opinion did not matter. But I'm gonna let you know this is an insider to little kids who think that they're fucking hard for literally doing this shit in front of their mom and thinking that because they're going to work in school and they're allowed to be a bitch thinking that they're hard. No, you're throwing your life away like Rengoku. You're not living up to your full potential. You try to criticize somebody like me, who you tried to stop to make it. Oh, no, that's not happening. So literally, that is literally the premise of that scene. And you have to understand that is the premise of this movie. This whole movie is based off of people's one-dimensionality, their television. That's why they were stuck in their own dream. Yes, that's a gangster symbol of this movie. We sold you a dream. They all had a dream. Yes, literally, that is the meaning of this movie, Mugen Train. That is literally, it's a reference to a whole lot of other shit, and it's based off Michael Jackson's Mugen Train, how they claim that he was in Peter Pan, that he claimed that they claimed that you're stuck in the fast seat, which is why it's a pun off of Mugen Train, off of Muzan, Michael Jackson. But nah, you see, like, it means all that. And that's why in Much Said Nightmare all goes back to a dream. And literally, you can't hold on to your dream and forget about reality. You have to have a real balanced lifestyle. You can't be like Rengoku. What if Rengoku would survive? And literally, what if literally, even though it was an ultimatum, there's no way that he could escape because the villain was already after him. You get what I'm saying? If you gave him an ultimatum, he made the best choice, if you ask me. But that is the meaning of this movie. So this is literally a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film. I need you to check it out. It's really, 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 really dope. Really dark at points, but you have to understand, this is one of the best films I have ever fucking seen. And they did a good job about incorporating mainstream into anime to make it look like it's not even watching an anime at this point. So literally, this is a shout out to young Tanjiro Komodo, and this is Mood Tricks' review of Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Train. Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer Mugen Train.